What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. This one is actually going to be against Siberianblood, or however you say her in-game name. Anyways, as you can see, I actually have some new team members this match, which is nice because I haven't had any new team members for the last 4 matches. And by the way, I have actually nicknamed all of my Pokemon now, so woo. Alright, let's get into the battle. Okay, so I'm going to be leading off with my Breloom, and she's going to be leading off with her Fortress. I'm going to start out with the Spore, just because I wanted to get this thing to sleep, but it has Overcoat. I didn't actually know that Overcoat neglected Spore, but whatever. I thought it just neglected weather effects. Anyways, I'm going to go for the Power-Up Punch right here, just to get my attack up. I could go, and plus a Bullet Seed or a Mach Punch isn't going to do very much anyways. She's going to go for the Gyro Ball right here, but contrary to popular belief, Brelooms actually aren't very fast. Like, they're not slow or anything, but they don't have a great amount of speed, so I wasn't worried when that happened. They have base 70 speed, which is kind of slow. She's going to switch out into her Talonflame as I go for another Power-Up Punch, which isn't great for me. It does just under half, though. So right here, I'm going to go for the Mach Punch because I'm thinking this is going to do double what the last one did, and I was wrong, but, and it just barely doesn't kill her. Anyway, she's going to go for the Brave Bird, and and my Breloom is going to get knocked out, but so is her Talonflame due to the recoil, which is, I guess it's a trade-off. I wish I'd just knocked it out with the Mach Punch. This battle would have finished a lot quicker that way, but she's going to go out into her Gyarados as I go out into Cupcake into Cupcake the Togekiss. Don't judge me. Right here, I'm going to set up a substitute as she goes for the Dragon Dance, just because I'm thinking I want to be able to, you know, get off some damage on her without her doing anything to me. I thought I might be faster. I wasn't sure. I was wrong, obviously, but whatever. I'm going to send out my Beanbag dude to take all the hits for me. It's ridiculously big in this generation. I'm not sure why, but whatever. And then I get Leftovers Recovery. She's going to go for the Ice Fang, and of course that's not going to kill me because I have a substitute up. And I'm actually going to go for the Air Slash, I believe. Oh, the Dazzling Gleam, sorry. I think Dazzling Gleam does more than Air Slash by just a little bit. It doesn't do a ton of damage, to be perfectly honest, but whatever, it's not a huge deal. It does, like, I can't tell if that's a fourth or a third. The health bars are too small in this generation. Alright, so I'm going to switch out into Gliscor the Ferrothorn. Don't question it. I'm going to get hurt by the spikes. She's going to go for the Waterfall right here. I'm not sure why. I think Cupcake could have lived the Waterfall. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it could have. And then she's going to take a ton of damage from Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet. Of course, so that's going to end up doing about a fourth to her as she goes for the Earthquake right here, and I'm going to live it unless I'm not correct. I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave just so that I know I can knock it out with whoever I switch into. And because I could hit it with a Power Whip, but I'm not entirely sure that'll kill it. Plus, I want to save my Ferrothorn so I can get up rocks later. I'm going to switch back out into Cupcake, predicting the Earthquake, and of course she does go for the Earthquake. Right here, I'm going to set up my substitute again. I believe that's what I do. I either do that or I just go for the Dazzling Gleam. Or, oh, of course I'm wrong with both of my predictions. I go for the Air Slash, actually, and it does end up flinching the Gyarados, because it doesn't kill it. Oh yeah, that was my thought process, because I have Serene Grace and it was paralyzed, so I was like, you know what, there's a really small chance it's going to live a Serene Grace, or it's going to not flinch from Serene Grace and from paralysis. That turn I go for the Dazzling Gleam just so it doesn't miss. Right here I'm going to switch out because I'm predicting the Iron Head or whatever. I don't want to get hit by that. She actually ends up going for the Shadow Sneak unless I'm wrong. I believe that she goes for the Shadow Sneak, if I remember. Yeah, the Shadow Sneak. Okay, I was good. I was right. So, and it's gonna knock out my Gliscor, but it isn't, or it's still going to do a good amount to her Aegislash. These things are like my worst nightmare, honestly, but like I can still deal with them okay-ish. Right here, I'm gonna switch out into, I don't know, the Electivire. I couldn't think of a good nickname for it, so that's what I came up with. So I'm gonna go for the Earthquake right here because I know if she goes for the King's Shield, it won't lower my attack, and if she doesn't go for the King Shield, it'll do a decent amount to it, if not killing. Because that was one of my thought processes for even putting an Electivire on my team, because it will outspeed Aegislash's, and I think it'll outspeed Aegislash's, and I haven't checked up on Aegislash's attack stats, or speed stat, I mean, but, and it won't get affected by King Shield because of the Earthquake. It's just a check, not a counter, though, because any attack of Aegislash's will pretty much knock out Electivire. But she switches into her Fortress Stress Test, which is a pretty decent name for it, because it's just frustrating to deal with. I wasn't that frustrated with it, because I think she could have used it better, but I don't know. She's going to go for the Gyro Ball, and that's not going to do very much, because, one, I'm not incredibly fast. I'm definitely a lot faster than this thing, but I'm not incredibly fast. And two, Fortress has no attack investment, as far as I know, or no set that I know does, unless it's like 4 attack, which raises it by 1 stat, which isn't a big deal. She's going to switch out into her Aegislash as I go for the Air Slash right here, which is decent, I guess. It actually does a good amount. It does about a fifth of Aegislash's health, which is nice. So, she's going to go for the Shadow Sneak right here, and I knew that she would go for that this turn, and that she didn't have the Iron Head, because that's what she went for last turn, and I was planning on staying in so I could go for the Substitute this turn, as she goes for the King Shield or whatever next turn, so that I could live that and roost up this turn. I think that's what happens. I don't have the greatest memory of this, even though it was last night. Don't question my logic. Okay, so she's going to go for the Shadow Sneak. As my Substitute gets knocked out, I'm going to go for the Roost right here, and it's going to bring me up to almost full health, like full health-ish. And this turn, I'm going to go for the Air Slash, I believe, because seeing how much it did while it was in Blade or not Shield form, it should do at least double that while it's in Blade form. She's going to go for the Swords Dance right here, which really wasn't the smartest thing. I guess she predicted me to go for another Substitute or for another Roost, but that's not what I went for. So she's going to go for a Shadow Sneak this turn. Of course, it's going to do double this time based on the, Swords Dance. So I'm going to go for the Air Slash and knock out this Aegislash. If she just carried a Steel-type move, it could have knocked me out easily, but she didn't, so woo! Alright, I'm going to get my Leftovers recovery as she switches into her Goodra, which really, I didn't understand this play right here. Or actually I did, never mind, I don't understand it thinking back on it now. Obviously she's going to go for the Thunder or the Thunderbolt, so I'm going to switch into my Electivire to take that and get the Motor Drive boost, which is good. Yeah, she goes for the Thunderbolt. I predicted the Thunder on this thing just because Thunderbolt, with Goodra not being the greatest special attacker, I predicted the move that was stronger, but of course I was wrong anyways. So she's going to switch back into her Fortress, and I'm going to go for the Ice Punch. It does nothing. So right here, I'm obviously going to switch out, because I don't want to have to deal with this thing any longer than I have to. Yeah. Kind of sucks that this was the battle that I took out my Talonflame, because I could have just knocked this thing out with 1 or 2 Brave Birds. She's going to go for the Volt Switch on her Fortress, and that's not going to do very much because I'm especially defensive Togekiss. And she's going to switch into her Goodra. Again, with the not understanding this as much. But right here, I'm obviously going to switch out again because I'm predicting the Electric type move again. So she's going to go for the Thunderbolt, I believe, as I switch into my Electivire. Does she go for the Thunderbolt again? No, she goes for the Fire Blast this turn, sorry. She predicted that I would just do the exact same thing. Yeah. Right, this turn I'm going to go for the Ice Punch again as she switches out into her Fortress. I really should have predicted this and either switched out or gone for an gone for an Earthquake. I can't talk. But I was thinking that maybe that was too obvious, so I wasn't going to do that. Of course it wasn't, and she switched out into this thing. I'm going to go for the Cross Chop this turn, just because there's a chance of doubling it, and I don't have enough health to live the spikes once I switch in again, so I'm just going to let her kill my Electivire. So right here, I'm going to switch out into Cupcake, I believe, if I'm correct, because Fortress isn't nearly as specially defensive as it is physically defensive. And my computer screen turns off. Woo! Oh, I go out into my Cinchino because I want to Rock Blast flinch this thing to death. I'm not sure why I thought this was a good idea. Actually, maybe I was going out into this thing for death fodder, but whatever. I hit this thing with 5 Rock Blasts because of the Steel Link, and she sets up another layer of spikes, which is always fun. I love spikes. Half this battle is just me fighting this freaking Fortress. I don't like stally Pokemon like this. Ignore the Ferrothorn on my team. So I'm going to go for the Rock Blast one more time. By the way, it's named Erica after Erica from the anime Campione. Not just because I randomly named it Erica. Anyways, I'm going to go for a couple more Rock Blasts. And that's going to knock it down a little bit. And this turn it's actually going to flinch, luckily for me. And she's going to get some more leftovers recovery. I'm going to go for the Rock Blast one more time, and I believe it knocks it out this turn. If it doesn't, it lives with like half of an HP. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I think it just lives with half of an HP this turn. Yeah, it does. So I hit it the 5 times, and I get the flinch again as she gets leftovers recovery. You can see this how annoying this thing is, considering I don't have a ton of special attackers. If I had Flamethrower on my Toga Kiss, this could have been easier, but I like the set I run now, so I'm not going to do that. Either way, this turn the Rock Blast will finally knock out her stupid Fortress. It wasn't that frustrating, it just took forever to knock out, and that was the only thing that was frustrating about it. Like, it didn't have a bunch of annoying tactics or anything. If it was a Toxic Stall Fortress, that would have sucked. This turn I'm going to go for the Tail Slap, just trying to flinch this thing again. She goes for the Thunderbolt, but since it's a Goodra, like I said, they don't have the greatest special attack. Like, I could have lived 2 of those, or no, I couldn't have, because crits do 1.5 damage in this gem. Never mind. But I'm going to go for the Tail Slap again this turn, and it is going to end up doing slightly over half. So, this turn she's going to go for the Thunderbolt as it knocks out my Cinchino. So, I'm going to go into Scissor, Cold Steel, my Scizor, and she's going to go for the Fire Blast this turn. No, wait, never mind. This is a whole new turn. I'm going to Mega Evolve, of course, because this is my Mega Evolution on my team. And yay. I don't know. I'm going to go for the Bullet Punch because I'm pretty confident it's going to knock it out. Goodra is not very physically defensive. I guess you could run a physically defensive set with like an Assault Vest, so it was really specially defensive and physically defensive. Of course, right here she's going to go into her Sylveon because that's her last Pokemon. I'm going to Bullet Punch it, and that is going to be the end of the match. So that was a good game, Siberian Blood. At least that's her Twitch name, because I get all my battles off of Shofu stream. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of the match. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out my Twitter and leave a like on the video. See you guys next time. Bye.